What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Simulation Full Nation. I hope you all had a very happy new year. We are starting a new year with a new simulation game here, and we are on Train Sim World. This is something new I found on Steam over the weekend. We have been assigned a unit coal train today, which is currently Rockwood Loan Facility. First complete coal load, then bring the train back to Cumberland Terminal. Sounds pretty simple. So I've already been through, there's a lot of tutorials you can go through here to kind of help you understand how this whole operation of a train works. But first thing before I jump in there, let's have a look at the detail on these engines. It's just magnificent. There's no other word to describe it here. It just looks stunning. And I'm getting pretty good frame rate as well. I get about 62 frames per second at the moment, which is pretty good. The detail extends all the way down on the carriages as well. But for now, we're just gonna jump up into onto our locomotive here, and we're gonna head into the engineer seat, and we're gonna get this machine moving. Let me in. Okie dokie. So there's a few things you have to go through. You learn through the initial training, a few safety procedures you have to go through. So what we need to do here is just turn on our lights to bright in the direction we're traveling. We're gonna give 2 blasts of the horn. Lets everyone know that we're going to be coming on the way here. We put our reverser into forward, minimum reduction. Going to release our brake, and we'll give ourselves a little bit of power here. I'm just going to quickly check as we're here. I just want to quickly check to make sure my controls for the cruise control are correct, or what I believe are my controls. So we should see that our engine will start to gain a little bit of momentum here. Brake. There we go. All brakes are off and we're away. So when we're going through the coal loading facility, we have to keep a constant speed of around 2 miles an hour. No more, certainly. It can be a little bit less. And that just allows for an even, steady fill. So what we're going to do, we're just going to put our power into idle here. We'll put the brakes up a little bit. We'll just trim that speed off. Once we get the cruise control set, we will just have a look at the train, really, see how it's all. It's getting a little bit ahead of us there. We'll just bring the brake back on. That's perfect. So as you can see, this is our engine from a third-person perspective, and look again at the detail on the top of the engine and the locomotive, all the way back through our carriages. At the moment, I believe some of the carriages are already full. We don't have to fill the whole locomotive up, but we're going to go until it tells us to stop anyway. So if we head back inside there, you can see we're approaching nice and quickly. So if we look out of the cab now, so this is a coal chute. This is where we're going to be loading up the vehicles from. Oh, let's just go back in there because our speed is jumping. So that first one we weren't able to fill properly because we were a little bit too fast there, but you can see as we slow down now we're able to start filling these carriages up more efficiently. So we're just going to let this roll through. Then we're going to keep an eye on our speed because for some reason my cruise control is not activated. Okay, so as you can see here, we are slowly filling everything up here. It's certainly not a quick job, but we're being thorough. That's for sure. So by looks of things, we have about another 10 carriages, or another... I don't know if these are carriages, or if these are trailers, or... presumably not trailers. I'm sure someone could tell me what these are. That'd be great. That's a lot of weight of coal on here. So what I'm currently doing right now, when you come into the main menu, you finish or complete some of the tutorials, and then there are what we call scenarios. I'm currently filling in a scenario here whereby I've just been shipped to this depot, or this train yard, and I have to complete the tasks here, and then kind of just end up back at a different depot, really. So you can do full-scale missions or jobs, really, but I've chosen not to do that, just as a beginner, really, just kind of cut my teeth a little bit more. Nice detail on the scenery as well, and the inside modelling on this in the engineer's seat is fantastic. Got light on. Look at it all. And behind here we also have the fuses, so you can take out the fuses for the power, which cuts the power to the engine, which is also really good. The circuit breakers are in there. So this is our main control deck, really, from the engineer seat here. So we have our directional changer called the reverser, so we're in forward now, obviously, but we need to just put a little bit more brake on here. Trim that down a touch. How are we coming along? There. There's the back of the train. Seems a long way away. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe half a dozen more carriages. And as I was saying here, we have two different brakes. We have the automatic brake and the independent brake. So right now we're just easing up the brake pressure on the independent brake, and then you have our controls here for things like the horn, we have a bell, and then we have stand for added traction. Nearly there. We must be pulling a lot of coal here. So as you can see, it also gives us our destinations down the track here with various speed limits for those destinations, which is really handy. How are we looking here? Oh, extra power. Last 3. So the only one that looks like I'm gonna fall a little bit short, I'd like to be in green on all of them, but looks like the first carriage is gonna fall a little bit short. Just kind of gauging my speed there more than anything else. On the final train carriage. Coal, coal, coal. Oh, so now, okay, so now I believe I want to stop my train completely. Oh. So we're just going to pull everything to a stop here. We need to go and change our track over. So we need to get out of the cab. Let me out, please. That's better. Oh, it's starting to rain, I think. Terrific. So we're just going to pop on down the track here. We need to find where our... Oh, I am going the wrong way. That's why. There is a lot of coal here. A lot of running. I'm sure there'd be someone else around the yard. I don't think I'd be doing everything on my own. Seems a bit odd. So I believe what we're going to end up doing here is we'll switch the track over, so we then divert the train down a different line, and then we'll be probably parking this up, I believe, either, or we'll be heading to another depot with it. That's equally as likely. But the great immersion within this game is that you do have to get out and change all of the track switches yourself. You have to go, when you're shunting around the yard, you need to change everything around in the yard. You need to change the direction on the track. It doesn't automatically do it all for you. So for this, for example, we come up to here, we pull that across, and as you can see, we're now going to be heading straight across there. So now we're going to head on back to there, and we're going to couple up to some more train carriages, and then we'll see how that looks. It does, however, mean I've got to go all the way back up here. So we're going to come back into here. Let's get that door shut. Let's get that door shut as well. Where's that door gone? I just want to shut and let me in. Oh well. Okay then. So now we're going to head back on ourselves. So we're going to build up a little bit of power here. The speed limit in the yard here is 10 miles an hour, but we're not going to go anywhere near that speed. We're just going to let this kick up a little bit, probably to about 5. But this particular locomotive here has the ability to produce, I believe it's over 4.5 or just under 4,500 horsepower, which is just astronomical. I mean, look at the size of it to begin with, but then look at what it's pushing. Just crazy. So as you can see here, our target is approaching 672 yards away right now. We're going to slowly shunt our way on down as we do so. We're going to take a look around as we come back through the coal facility. So assume this is all led to here through lorries from a mine somewhere, you'd like to believe. We're just losing a bit of speed there. Kick it up again. Nice seats. What's really useful about the controls we have here in the displays, if you can see on the bottom right corner where we have the gauge, it gives us our percentage gradient for an incline or a decline we're on. So when you're pulling a heavy load, or you're about to pull a heavy load, you know and you can anticipate the effect of the gradient, whether it be it's going to increase your speed because of the gravity, or if it's going to decrease your speed, and then how braking will be affected with that as well. There we go, we're trundling down. This train's going to be huge by the time we connect this. I can't even see the front. And there's an awful lot more to be connected to. So we're probably only about 100 meters away from the two carriages connecting here. So we'll just take that off, go into idle. We just want to kind of trim down some speed a little bit here. There we go, so we're coming down to a nice slow connection speed here. We don't want to be too quick. Lovely stuff. Auto brake to full service. Airbag screen. So we just want to select that one, and then we want to select cut off. We want to select cut out. 3. We'll go F3, it's going to be cut out, and then we want to go trail, and then we're going to go save, which is F6. Lovely stuff. So that's amended the brake controls for our whole load now. Alright, so we're just going to, now it's asking us to switch off engine run, generate field and control switch. Now they are actually down on the side here, so we're going to use the direction buttons to skip through our monitors. Give my mouse button, there we go. Turn off, turn off, turn off. So now, as this is, what appears to be happening here is we're actually going to be using the other locomotive as the kind of the lead locomotive. So this will in fact be the, I guess, the slave. Shut the door there, don't need that open. Which means that we've got another nice long run. We're going all the way down to the opposite end of the carriage. So I'll come back and join you when I'm in the engineer seat again. This is a long walk. I've already done this walk once. This is mammoth. As you can see here, because we're pulling massive load, look at the size of those. This is monstrous, and look at the modeling and the detail. Very impressed by this. It's just huge. It's a bit rainy, but you know, that looks menacing. Alright, anyway, enough dawdling around. Let's climb ourselves back on board here. Get this door open. Let's shut that door as well. And we'll go and set us off in here. Alright, so let's just change our lights around here. Okay, independent brake, want to go bail off. Until all our brake cylinders are empty. So right now you can see our brake cylinders are here and here, so we're currently around 65% there, I'd say, of PSI. Bail off. Okay, so our brakes are released, we're good to go. We just need to sound our horn here again. We are going forward, and we're going to get a little bit of power here. Let's get this train on the road. What I would like to find, there must be a switch up here somewhere for the wipers. I do not need a sun visor, not today. There we go. Perfect. Alright, we've got quite a load here as you can imagine, so it's going to take a little bit of power, but we are making some movement. Now we've got a 40-mile-an-hour limit here and 1.3 miles. So right now we're just going to get up to a cruising speed. Going to get up to probably around about the 10 to 15 mile an hour marker here, and then we'll get everything set up. Alright, so we'll just knock that down to 1. We'll get building up some speed here slowly, and we're just going to enjoy the ride until we get to a point where we can actually just trim up to about 40 miles an hour. Right now we're going to stay at 15. We're just under 15. So we're only going down the road to the Rockwood facility, I do believe. Let's just double check that before we go any further. So yeah, we are not going too far with this trip. It's just a short shunt really, but it's enough just to get us some experience inside the train here. So what we should really do with that in mind is just kind of trim our speed a little bit. We don't want to, with the weight we're carrying as well, it's going to take some stopping here. So we really don't want to apply too much speed and then overshoot our target really. I'm very much looking forward to once I get a little bit more confidence under my belt here, a few more little scenarios like this, then we'll be looking to take on some of the longer excursions, some of the longer trips, and also go into the commuter travel side of the game as well. I'll be very interested to see how that one pans out. So for now though, it's like I say, very much just kind of me training myself more than anything else, just getting a little bit more assured with the controls, and then we'll take on some of the real big journeys. As you can see right now, we are currently going down a 0.5% gradient, so that was something I've got to bear in mind when I do come to braking here. We're trimming our speed now really, just keeping it around the 10 miles an hour. We've really got a limited brake on here, about 16%, so we've got a lot of braking power left. We don't want to stress the brakes out too much, put too much pressure on them when we do come to stop, so we're just going to try and keep this trimmed up really. Not too concerned about it at the moment. When we get down to maybe around 500 yards, I'll really start to trim the speed down a bit. Just let everyone know we're coming. Okay, so as you can see here, we're slowly trimming our speed down. We brought the automatic brake on as well as the independent, and we've got about 400 yards in which to knock off about 8 miles an hour here, so we're doing pretty well. If we can get the train speed down to again about 2 miles an hour, we'll probably just coast into the location here, about 300 yards away. I can't get over the detail inside this model, really can't. We may have killed our speed a little too soon there. We'll just have to roll in a little bit more. As you can see, on a wet and dreary day here, we are 160 yards away right now. We're coasting in nice and slowly, nice and easily. Don't want to put any unnecessary duress on the brakes here, so we're just taking it nice and easy. With only 150 yards left, it shouldn't take us too long at all. Speed's creeping up a little bit there. Must be on the account of the slight gradient here, so we'll just trim it down again. Still nice and manageable though. A couple of miles an hour is really not a lot to take off. It's when if you come in steaming in at kind of 10-15 miles an hour, I assume, which is completely overshoot. So this is doing us just fine. What a beautiful day to be alive, huh? Glorious. "13 yards and we are all but there." Okay then, so with that stop. Alright, so we've got some more instructions. We're going to head on to another set of another junction as soon as we have our clearance, really. So I'm going to hang on here, and then when we get our clearance, I'll come back to you.
Weather forecast doesn't look good, but you got enough experience to handle the situation.
Oh no, I was wrong there. So we've just got ourselves loaded up here. We have finished Power in America Part 1. So we've driven 1.7 miles. I've walked nearly as far as I've driven. That's depressing. But we are building up here, which is good news. So at this stage I'm going to leave it here. Thank you very much for watching. I am going to bring this around probably once a week or so, but it's just something new and different that I'm really enjoying at the moment, so we'll see how it goes. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. If you have liked this, then do hit that like button, and if you've got any comments, then do please leave those below. I am a bit of a novice at this, so if you have any guidance, I'd love to hear it. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, enjoying what you're doing, and we'll see you in the next one.